Hello there guys, it's Captain Invisible here and welcome to another multiplayer battle for Napoleon Total War. I am in command of Denmark this time, and as you can see by my formation, I'm in sort of a rushing up formation because I am indeed going to rush down this hill, and I was hoping to get over here with my forces. And my opponent for this match was Kovacs Joseph Roland in command of France. So for this battle I'll either call him Joseph or just the French player. So for my army I brought, I believe, five units of line infantry. I've got 3 units of militia. I've got 3 units of the sharpshooters, the skirmishers. Pretty sweet there. I've got a unit of the lifeguards of foot, so I'm bringing the lifeguards again to this battle. I've got a unit of dragoons, the awesome heavy cavalry. I'm already getting bombarded by howitzers. This formation was a really terrible idea considering my opponent brought howitzers. And then over on this flank I've got these sweet lifeguards of horse. Check these guys out in their nice, almost gold uniforms. I mean, it's kind of yellowy, sickly cream at the moment, but yeah, they do have sort of gold trim on them, and it looks quite awesome. And then my general, who's just a standard general staff back here. So yeah, already my opponent is bombarding me with howitzer fire. The rules for this battle were max, I think it was just max 1 artillery, max 2 cavalry, obviously not including the general because the general has to be on horse. And then I believe it was max 4 or 5 skirmishers as well. So he's obviously brought all the gubbins here. He's got 4 of these voltigeurs. He's got 2 units of dragoons, and then he's obviously got his howitzer, bombarding my position. And I didn't like this because I didn't bring any artillery, but I wasn't likely to run across this road and be subjected to his troops' massed fire. So I'm just going to use my sharpshooters to pick away at some of his units in the hope to maybe either draw him across or just to weaken him down a bit. That was a brutal hit. What was that on? Line infantry. Ouch. Yeah, poor fellows there. So me and my opponent brought 2 differing doctrines here. He decided to go very quality with 2 units of these old guard, 4 of these voltigeurs, his general back here, the howitzer, and he's got 2 units of these young guard, and then I say 2 more units of the voltigeurs, and then his dragoons. So he's got a very small army compared to mine, and his plan was obviously to use his elite units to beat my superior numbers. Oh, and this was on a medium fund, so it was a smallish money battle. We didn't have quite the money that we did in previous battles. So, see, my opponent is kind of splitting up his forces. I decided to do the same with mine. So I split up a force here with some, I think 3 units of line infantry, a unit of militia, and my my lifeguards of horse, currently getting shot at by the enemy skirmishers. And then at this side I've got I think all my sharpshooters at this side, just to give me the range advantage here. Some militia, 2 units of line infantry, and my lifeguards of foot. And this worked out better for me, I think, simply because his army was more elite, more quality over quantity, and that means that he is best concentrating his forces against me, whereas mine's numerically superior. I can afford to split my army up and make these, protect both these crossings. So yeah, my plan in this match was, as I say, to use numbers, and I was hoping to, at the beginning, rush down here and just rush across here, but I didn't realise how close he was to my position, so that was obviously a terrible idea. But now I've, with everything sort of settled down, you know, he's currently bombarding my position with his artillery. I can afford to set up and just settle in here. He's only got these young guards protecting, and they are guards, so they are superior to my sort of line infantries, but they're the weaker guards, and I'm feeling fairly confident that I could stop them. So it's currently moving up some skirmishers. I think my own sharpshooters. Oh, I think I moved them across actually to this side. Yeah, there they are. I'm still getting some nasty howitzer hits coming in. Yeah, I didn't realise this unit was so weakened when I decided to cross. But seeing that he's pulled away a lot of his troops from here, I decide to cross the river. Militia first, obviously, with their sweet hats that can take on anything except guards, line infantry, skirmishers and cavalry. If they take an artillery hit, they die, so yeah. And then I throw in my life guards of foot are going to go up next, followed by my line infantries. As I said, I didn't realise this one was, where is it? I didn't realise one of them was so very severely weakened. There was a poor, I think it's this one, yeah. Poor line infantry getting absolutely slaughtered by artillery. So I'm going to use my militia to hopefully silence these skirmishers, and my own life guards are going to go up against these old guard. And these guys are brutally fierce, but the formation he's got them in is not going to utilise their strength all that well. He's really got them in thick formations, and my life guards are in a nice line formation. So we're going to get some sweet hits against these old guard. When the trees get out of the way, there we are. As you can see, we're already taking this old guard down. Quite a lot. This thick formation really wasn't good for his old guard, because my life guards really shouldn't be able to take out an old guard unit, but his thick formation really made it easy for me to do that. And then I'm currently flanking with another unit of line infantry to get here. But I just wanted to show you this. He's thrown his cavalry forward, and all I had was this militia sort of defending this back line, so he's able to just push straight through and get into my skirmishers, which was it was a scary moment, I have to say. A really big micro mistake by me, and he's going to be able to push all the way through and take out all of these skirmishers with these dragoons. They were not going to stop. They're just going to completely slaughter all of my sharpshooters on this flank, and he could have even come round and hit this flank here. I don't know why he didn't utilise that. I think my life guards are finally losing steam, and I think this unit of line infantry routing is going to cause them to rout as well. But I do have a flank on these old guard, so I'm going to be able to put down some fire into the flanks of these guys. And as you can see, this life guard has been taken down quite a bit, so it's a good idea to spread your men out if you're going to fight other line infantry. Otherwise you're going to get killed in a big blocky formation.
Our men are running, sir.
So yeah, his cavalry's currently doing a number over at that side. Over at this side, it looks like I missed it, but his his young guard came right the way across the bridge and was intercepted by my life guards of horse, who are in turn absolutely slaughtering his young guard. And I think this was a big mistake by him. You know, me leaving my flank exposed but to his cavalry was my mistake. But this one is really going to cost him, and these two young guards are going to get absolutely slaughtered by my cavalry, and in combination with my infantry as well in support. So he's lost this flank, and I've kind of lost this flank. The only difference is I've got the numbers to bog this cavalry down, and my own dragoons that were in support are now able to stop his cavalry. Not before my poor general though bites the dust and flees from the field. So I've completely lost this flank. He was able to beat me here, not without taking quite a lot of losses though. I do have some reserves here of militia, but they're not really going to be of any use anymore. But my dragoons are still healthy and have cleaned up the enemy cavalry, and we are now able to cross this river effectively after destroying the young guard flank. And we're able to get into these voltigeurs and really push this flank hard. Because as you can see, his young guard were the only ones protecting here. He's got nothing now between them and his right flank, and that was because he was so spread out with his low number of forces, whereas our numbers, it allowed us to really even though we lost that flank, we've still got a nice healthy force here to take out the rest of the French force. So I mean, they are old guards, so they are going to put up a pretty good fight. Old guard are not pushovers at all, but at the same time, he's got to travel all the way down here. He's gonna have to move his artillery as well, and these two units. So he's very spread out, and he's currently just staying there to fire at my militia, which was also a really bad idea. He doesn't need to stay here any longer than he has to, and instead he's going to send his old guard up here and leave his skirmishers back there. And as I say, I've already crossed this section of river now, so I'm in a position to really give these old guards something to fear. So I've got my remaining line infantry moving up. Just got two of these guys left, and then I've got my dragoons and my life guard of horse in the back there. And we're going to get the first shots off against the old guard, who have already been beaten up by our life guards of foot. So this is going to be a nice fight for my line infantry, who are superior in number, and they're going to pull back before the old guard can really get some nice shots on them, only losing a couple of men. And then we're going to charge in with our dragoons into the flank of these old guard, who are on the move, and it's going to catch them unawares, out of square formation. And you've seen what these life guard of horse can do to infantry, and they're going to do exactly the same to these old guard. Now, this was a good move actually by my opponent. He uses his general to kind of bog down my cavalry whilst his old guard chased him with bayonets, and my cavalry kind of gets bogged down and struggles to really pull out. And I think he manages to make one of them waver. No, the morale's stabilised now. So we pull this general away from combat, and we're going to hopefully kill the general's staff at this point.
Our men are running, sir.
His voltigeurs have managed to pull up, and they're going to cause us some problems, shooting us in the flank. These line infantry are holding on desperately against the life guards, but the old guard. But the old guard are superior, infantry. But with cavalry support, we've managed to finally break these old guard and get them off the field. Then we can move on to the voltigeurs, who are unsupported. And with the enemy general's death, the French army soon breaks. Just need to clean up this artillery with our life guards of horse, and victory is ours. So, indeed, it was a very interesting battle. As I said, the difference between the quantity of my army and the quality of his was quite amusing. A really good test of how quantity and quality work, and it was unfortunate that he split his army up in the way that he did, because he exposed too much of his army, and whereas I lost a flank and it didn't phase my army, him losing a flank really cost him big. And I think that's the kind of attitude you have to take in these kinds of battles, that if you go into a battle knowing that you are going to lose half your army, but know how to resolve that, then you are in a better position than someone who goes into a battle expecting his elite troops to win him the day and finds that actually when his elite troops get beaten, he's stuck without a plan. In fact, you can take that to any total war battle and do well with it. So my dragoons, and as you can see, my life guard of horse doing really well in this battle and get quite a lot of kills. My general didn't need to get kills; he was a general, but he died to the enemy dragoons. Life guard of foot only getting 52 kills. I'm surprised by that, but they were up against old guard, and old guard are pretty scary. My line infantry getting a lot of kills. You're doing okay, except for this one, which may have taken too much artillery. I can't remember which one did, but yeah, that one may have taken way too much artillery shots to be of any use. 58 on a militia, that is not bad at all. It wasn't even my best militia, my one with experience, so yeah, very good there from that militia. Then my skirmishers, not doing too bad, not doing too great, but as I say, skirmishers for these minor factions are not really that good. The Danish, the Swedish, they generally don't, and they really don't have that good skirmish contingent, so you really have to use cheap line infantry and guards to really make the most of battles, and the cavalry. They do have some pretty nice cavalry. These life guard of horse were not to be messed with. They were very nice units to bring. Okay, so that's the battle, guys. Thank you very much for watching. I hope to bring you some more Napoleon Total War battle replays in the future. But for now, thank you very much for watching, and I shall see you all in the next battle.